Hey everybody! I hope that you are having a lovely day or night, whatever it is for you. And I hope that the beginning of your new year is bringing all types of new hope and new joy to your life so that we can just all start fresh and have a wonderful 2026. So one of the things I wanted to do this year at the beginning of the year was organize my craft supplies. And I did it. I did it in just a couple of days, and I used bins, large totes, small totes, and medium totes. And I used labels, just labels from the Dollar Tree, and I just stuck them on there and I wrote down everything that was in those bins. That's something that I had never done before, and this is the most organized I've ever had my stuff. And I'm very excited for it. We're going to be moving, so when we get to the new place, I want to be able to know where everything is and start crafting right away again. And also for dust purposes, I used to have like bins that were like open, dust. So I wanted everything like closed in a closed bin. So I'm just, as I was doing it, I just wrote everything down on notebook paper. So I'm just going to read off to you kind of how I organized it and why I did it that way. But first, look at this. This is my Lego house. This is called the Magic Flower House. I showed it many moons ago here on my channel. It's a Lego house from Temu, but I just wanted to show I got this case from Amazon recently, and it just like opens up. It's like a magnetic closure, and there's like a mirror in the back there, and it's definitely the best way to store stuff if you do this kind of thing, because I mean, I didn't glue those pieces on there. So I was like, I need a way to secure this, and what I used was carpet tape, like really strong double-sided tape on the bottom, so it's not going to slip and slide around in the box. I still have to figure out a way to package the whole thing up for moving, but it's more secure. So I just wanted to show that, and I thought it's very pretty. So the first thing in my craft room are my craft carts, and I do have two over here. This one with the black and brown, I literally found that someone was junking it. It was on the side of the road, and I was on a walk, and I was like, wait, what is this? And I love it. So now it sits next to my white one, and they both have wheels. But I just put my main stuff on here. I had this kind of like very full of stuff, but as I organized, I just put like my real main stuff on there. And so that would be like planners, my daily notebooks, my journals, and then I have like sticky notes, sticky pads. I have pens, highlighters, and my favorite like writing utensils in here. Ooh. Blueberry. I also have the second shelf here. I have like rulers. I have like the cutting machine, the cutting tool for like slicing stuff. And then I just have like my main glue. I have like Elmer's glue. I have Liquid Fusion, super glue, and wood glue just out, just because I like to reach for those quick for a lot of projects. And then I just have a couple tools. I have like tweezers. I have fine scissors and regular thicker scissors, bigger scissors. And then I have like a couple like cricketing tools. So I have like, there's like a tiny little blade in there. I have a scraper tool, just my main tools, right? So, cause I have a ton more, and I have like extra blades, extra things like that I'll get to in my other organization. And then I have like paper clips, rubber bands, officey type of stuff. And then I have like cleaning supplies. So I have like wipes, I have paper towels, gloves, and tissues and garbage bags. And then the other cart is just kind of like things that I've completed, or like it's more of a display thing. I just have like different treasure chests that I've collected and journals that I've done, and I just kind of have them displayed out there. And before it was very junky, it was full of everything. So let me get into what I have in the bins. I'm not going to show you the bins. They're all packed away. You wouldn't want to see it anyway. It would take hours. So the first thing that I did, because it was just Christmas time, is I made a bin of my holiday craft stuff. And I put like Halloween in there, some Easter and Valentine's Day as well, but it's mostly Christmas. And it's not like decorations, it's just crafting stuff. So that would be like stickers, fabric, scrapbooking paper that is that theme, ribbon, crafting ribbon, cards I craft with, and you know, things like that. And so that was the first bin. It's a big bin. The second bin I did was like large scrapbooking and junk journaling supplies. So that's like 12 by 12 paper. That would be like tissue paper, cricketing cutting mats, cricketing vinyl, like those like rolls of vinyl take up a lot of space, manila folders, address labels. I also have like napkins and paper plates because I craft with like pretty napkins and stuff, paper bags, the big paper doilies that I've gotten from the Dollar Tree, craft felt and foam sheets, and regular printer paper, copy paper of like different colors. There's regular white kind. And then I have like working mats and like some trays in there. So like silicone mats and stuff for like cutting on or putting your hot glue gun on and things like that. So that all fit in another giant tote. So it's 2 big giant totes so far. The next section was like writing and painting. So that would be like, you know, all types of paint, of course. There's like acrylic paint. I have like my metallic paints, my metallic acrylic paints, which are my favorite to use. Spray paint is in there, the Rub and Buff. I have paint markers in there, and then puff paint. And then I also have in there, I have resin, my resin supplies, and because I mean, they're just like this size bottles. They're not like big gallons or anything. And then a thing of acetone for like cleaning that. And I put that in there just because it's like a smelly thing, like with the spray paint and the Rub and Buff and the regular paints even, like it's all kind of like smelly. It needs kind of like ventilation. You know, I wouldn't want my, you know, my son to get into that stuff without my permission and things. So it's all together in one thing. And then also in that area, I was able to put like writing supplies. So that's like markers and Sharpies, gel pens. I have a giant thing of gel pens. They're amazing. Colored pencils. I also put coloring books on the bottom of that because I have a few coloring books and I love to use, you know, gel pens and colored pencils for that. And then regular writing pens, like my extra ones, like, and highlighters, like the ones that I don't have in here. These are just like, you know, a few for like everyday use, but I have a giant bag in there as well. The next order of business, I have my like Etsy order supplies. So that would be like when people order things from me. I am able to go in this bin and just like pack the order. So of course I have my completed items for sale, and I also have blank items that I want to complete in order to sell. Bubble mailers, mailing boxes that I assemble, bubble wrap, packing paper, and then like my filler, my trinkets, my extra little freebies, and things along that line. The next one is very important bin for me. It's like your utilities and tools. So that would be like, it's packed to the brim. There's a lot of stuff in there, but I feel like it all like goes together. So I have in there, I have of course glue and tape. So I have, you know, extra Elmer's glue, E6000, extra super glue, glue dots, packing tape, painter's tape, all kinds of things like that. I have my glue gun and glue sticks, extra glue sticks. I put in there, I have sponges, I have moss, cork boards, things like that I just, you know, they're like utilities. Like I use them for my miniatures, I cut them up, I, you know, pick from it. I also put in there twine. I have this big roll of twine that is endless possibilities. I have plastic cups, which I actually use for the resin, but I wasn't able to fit it in that bin with the resin. So cups, you need cups for other things. So I have little plastic cups in there. There's also like the tools. So that's like scissors, blades, stapler, extra staples, extra blades. I have extra tweezers in there. I have extra tape measures and rulers, miter shears for like cutting wood and stuff. Parchment paper, aluminum foil, and plastic wrap. So this is one of the giant totes as well. That all fit in there. And then I have like little tea lights and fairy lights, you know. So this would be a great bin to have on hand if I'm going to be doing like a miniatures and, you know, trying to build something from scratch. I'm gonna probably need everything from that bin at some point or another. Okay, another bin, the next bin is just my clay supplies. So all of my clay, people have gifted me a lot of clay, and I have ton of white clay, air dry clay. I have a ton of polymer blocks of clay, different colors. I have little sample colors. I have a ton of clay. So it's all of the clay. And then I have like tools for the clay to make like different shapes in there. And then I also have like cookie cutters, like little cuts so that you can make like different shapes in the clay. Those are in there. And then I have like a clay roller machine. It's just like this little metal machine that you can put so you can flatten out your clay. So I have that in there too. So moving along, I was like, I wonder how long this video is going to take. I could try to do it really fast, but I feel like the point of it is to, read off all of the items that I can really think of, everything that I wrote on the label on the bin, just because I feel like that would help people, because when I did it, I just laid everything out and I was like, oh my God, how do I organize this that makes sense? So the next bin I have, I just labeled miniatures. So, if you're into this kind of stuff, I put like all like the recycled type of items that I would use in miniatures, like little lids and caps that I find, little buttons, little odds and ends, little like styrofoam pieces, floral foam is in there because I use that for that kind of thing. I have little recycled mirrors, the little Dollar Tree bottles. I put those little balloon lights and little mini spotlights in there as well. I kind of think I should maybe either put like all of the tea lights and fairy lights in with this, or move these lights are pretty small. So I kind of think I need to put the fairy lights from the utilities to this, because the fairy lights, well, they're in a little box, but they are pretty much always used for my miniatures. So buttons, I said that. Any like miniature food items that I've bought, like I have like little teacups and all that I've acquired. Things for a miniature house, like little tiles, floorboard tiles. I have little baseboards, things like that. And then little hardware, like extra little jewelry pieces, push pins, things like that. The next bin is just stickers. That would include like letter stickers, any kind of sticker. And I have a lot. And then also in that bin, I included washi tape because I have a decent amount of rolls of washi tape in there. And then I also included in there my ribbon and lace and string, elastic. And I have a thing of fishing line that I use frequently. I'm thinking maybe the fishing line should go in either utilities or miniatures. But it's in there right now. See, it doesn't matter really because I know where it is because of the label and I'll be able to find it if I'm in a pinch. So I also put, ribbon with the stickers. So that would be just like things to embellish, like journals, like ribbon and stickers. Like I definitely need to, when I am embellishing and decorating like a journal and stuff, scrapbooks. Okay, the next bin, I just put like extra notebooks and like bought journals, like notebook paper and stuff like that, and then composition notebooks, and then I also put like extra sticky pads and any other notepads in there. So that's just one own bin, and it's like a medium sized bin because those things are like heavy, so I didn't want to put those in with other things because they're like heavy, some of these bins are decently heavy, but I can lift all of them. Like I was kind of like mindful. I was like, I don't want to put like too much heavy stuff in like a large bin, you know what I mean? So that's something to think about. Another bin I just have is fabric and mesh, cloth napkins that I've gotten from the thrift store, anything fabric, Dollar Tree fabric and stuff is in there. And of course I use that a lot for miniatures, but I also use it for junk journaling. So I just put it all on its own thing, fabric, right? The next one would be like all my smaller junk journaling supplies. So not like the big 12 by 12 paper like I said before, but this would be like the smaller ones, the 6 by 6, the little ephemera that I've created or that I've bought. I have small envelopes in there, prayer cards, thank you cards, anything that I would use for a journal that's like, smaller. And that's a pretty heavy one. That's like a medium sized bin. It ended up being pretty heavy with all that paper. Okay, the next one is also another medium-sized bin. It's like wood products. And these are probably I would use these mostly for miniatures, but you never know. So that would be like, I also put sandpaper in there because of the wood. You know, I could probably put the sandpaper in with the, you know, the utilities and tools bin as well, but you know, the only thing I'm probably sanding is wood products. So that would be like dowel rods, chopsticks, Jenga pieces, wood beads, wood slabs, like just like wood, you know, thin wood slabs. I have little wooden crates and trays from the Dollar Tree, I'm sure you've seen. Popsicle sticks, I have like thick ones, thin ones, little wood blocks, bigger wood squares, so anything wood. The next bin is one of my favorites. It's my embellishments, I just call it. So it's what I use to like do my treasure chest. I do a lot of little, you know, pearls or gems inside of like a journal. So it's just all embellishments. So I have a giant thing of beads in there, you know, there's all kinds of beads, pony beads, there's decorative beads, there's teeny tiny beads, all kinds of, any beads. There's pearls, gems, stones, shells, I have chains, like old like jewelry chains, safety pins, magnetic rolls. So this would be like also anything for like junk journaling. So little magnets. I have marbles in there. My junk journaling binding kit, which is like the needle and thread. Distress ink and foam tools, if you know are into distressing, like when you're doing journaling. Sequins, book rings, brads, and glitter. So that's all in there. So that's all like embellishments. That's like creating a journal, supplies, things like that. Let me see here. Oh, this was just everything on my craft cart. And I already went over that. So what do you know? That's everything. Well, I hope this was informative, and you know, maybe you want to organize your stuff and get your stuff, you know, in order this year. So good luck, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.